Hello, everyone. Hey there. Welcome to June. It's June 2nd. And I wanted to kind of focus on another topic for the month of June. We did losing weight for the last time in May. And for June, I want to focus on learning to truly love yourself and enjoy being you exactly as you are, right? So many of us, we want to be different than what we really are. We want to be better than we are, right? So we miss out on the opportunity of really enjoying the extraordinary life experience of just being ourselves, right? I want to change that. I want to teach you the value of enjoying yourselves and your life right now, exactly as it is. Wake up in the morning and be excited that you get to be who you are right now without changing anything, right? Have some fun with yourself just because it's an amazing experience to be alive, right? So it's not so you become someone who thinks they're better than other people. It's so you can truly appreciate who you are and all that you are just for the fun of it, right? So a really good trick is to remember that you didn't create yourself. You were created, right? So it's not really your place or my place to judge the creation. We can just marvel at it. We can just enjoy it. There has never been a human made exactly like you or me. And you wonder, why not? Right? Why am I me? Why am I this way? Why am I alive now? Right? It's important that I'm exactly the way I am and that my life is exactly the way it is. It's for me. It's for the world, right? Just look at yourself that way too. So why is it so hard for us? Right? Why do we end up thinking our lives have gone wrong or there's something about us is wrong or off? Right? Have you ever heard your brain telling you things like, I should be better looking, I should be smarter, I should be more athletic, more outgoing, more confident, or I'm too fat or tall or short or awkward, too skinny, right? I should have had different parents or different friends or different teachers. We think something's gone terribly wrong with our lives, right? It's so much easier for us to believe those things than it is to really celebrate as if it was meant to be that way, right? We are supposed to be exactly who we are, right? Exactly how smart we are, and whatever, right? We can totally delight in it. So, but the problem is we all have the same problem. We all have an idea of how we and the world is supposed to be. We have an image of how we're supposed to look, how the world should work, what's going on with our lives, right? Um, we believe things should be so much better and all the bad parts should just be gone. We spend a lot of time really upset and frustrated that our life isn't matching up with this idealized version in our heads. It happens over and over, right? People, I see it with my clients and people out there in the world. They have an image of their in their mind of how their parents raised them, um, or should have raised them, how their spouse should treat them. The government should be different, right? How everything is ruined. But ruined compared to what, right? Ruined compared to the idea of what we think life should be and how we should be. So we're going to really dive into it. I want to show you how many of these beliefs that you have that argue with reality of how life really is It's not serving us, right? You'll see how this makes you feel off and wrong when really everything is exactly right. Okay. Um, you guys know this. We will see this really exaggerated when we compare our life to other people's lives, right? You'll have a story and I'll have a story. Somehow their life is so much better than ours, right? You'll look at their family and, oh, they have a better family or they have a better business. They're doing life right. And they're just really enjoying their life so much more than we are, right? And that's just completely false. It just is, right? We think that life is better there, but it's really just the same. There's a 50-50 balance. We're going to have the same thoughts and feelings, right? The topics change, but there's still the misery is still there. No one has a better life than you, right? No one is doing it right. No one's doing it wrong. So you really want to consider these concepts because they're going to allow you to start enjoying yourself now and stop waiting for a better version of yourself or your life when you think you can be happier, right? When you think all my dreams have come true, I've created an amazing life, right? The life of my dreams, like literally the life of your dreams, right? You can do that, right? But you can also then still wake up feeling anxiety, right? What were you worried about 5 years ago? 5 years ago, I was just diagnosed with cancer. So I was worried about, was I even going to have a life? I was worried about my health. I was worried about money. I was worried about all kinds of things. Today, I have worries, similar worries. It's the same. I still feel sad and frustrated and I feel worried and there's times I feel bored. There's times I feel amazing and super happy and joyful. And I did that when I was going through cancer too, right? It's all just having a human life. Okay. So the difference is when you can really embrace the negative parts of life, the parts that aren't so happy, and then you embrace the positive, you can just truly enjoy just being yourself. Okay. And you know what's even more amazing is when you can appreciate life and enjoy being yourself when things are hard. Okay. So, for example, back when I was going through cancer treatments, it was really hard, right? I had to prep myself for the treatments and how I was going to physically feel. Um, all the things I went through, uh, circumstances, getting my head shaved, losing my hair, and then when my hair grew back, right? All of that experience, one could say, was very hard. But there was so much I also enjoyed about that experience. There's so much that experience taught me. I wouldn't trade that experience for anything. It taught me how, it just taught me so much that now I'm sharing with you. I went out and I sought help in the form of life coaching. And now I can fully embrace all the parts of life. I know how to be in a relationship. I know how to feel better if I want to. I know how to feel bad if I don't want to feel better, right? I don't argue with the reality. Let's say I'm not perfect. I just have the tools now. So I know that I can coach myself out of anything. Sometimes I'm just spinning in it. Not perfect, right? But here's the thing, life is just going to be kind of hard for everyone. And if we just stopped being mad about it, and if we stop trying to change it the way it is, right? And what if we just said yes to all of it, right? Yes to how I grew up. Yes to the parents I had, right? Um, Yes to the body I have now. Yes to everything. Even if we came to life and we had the perfect parents and the perfect body and a perfect face and we won the lottery every day, we still couldn't escape misery. Okay. Misery is one of the parts of being human. No one is immune to it. Even, I mean, you see it on the news. Famous, rich, talented, beautiful people kill themselves with drugs. They are sad. They get divorced, right? They have problems having children or with relationships. They have failures and successes, right? And there's people who live in poverty who laugh and are full of joy and delight and love with intensity. So it's kind of confusing, right? It's confusing to many of us who can't relate, but it happens. So then the question is, why do we even bother to improve our lives if we won't be any happier? But it's such a good question because it reveals the belief right in it. The belief is that the only reason to do things is to be happier. But what if we did new things because they're hard? Because we want to grow and be uncomfortable, right? What if the point of life stopped being to be happy all the time and changed to growing all the time? So, what if just enjoying what is made it even easier to change what is? And we don't change it to be happier, but just to see if we can, right? Just to grow and change and evolve. So then and only then do we stop comparing our lives to the life we are supposed to have, right? We stop comparing our lives to others. Then we start enjoying ourselves in the lives that we already have. Okay? So, the first step to enjoying yourself and your life is pretty basic. You have to like yourself. It's not easy for many of us, right? And I'm not talking about liking yourself passively. I'm talking about actively choosing to like yourself on purpose. Okay. And what this means is listening to what you want, telling the truth and saying no sometimes, knowing your dreams and desires, taking care of yourself for the long run, right? Working on your behalf. So you'll know if you aren't liking yourself properly, if you have a lot of people pleasing pain. This is caused by spending an inordinate amount of time worrying about what other people think of you. Okay. So when you're trying to get people to like you by doing what you think they want, I lived my life doing that. You do this at your own expense and at the expense of what you really want. And then you feel resentful and frustrated when people don't do the same or appreciate the sacrifices you're making. And that's totally the opposite of enjoying being yourself. It is not joyful at all. So when you ignore yourself and you send yourself the message that you don't matter, you then act this out in your life and you create situations that seem to prove that that's true. And the answer is to start paying attention to what you're thinking and what you are genuinely wanting. Okay. So, often people think if they are only paying attention to what they want, then they'll be selfish, right? But the truth is that we as humans have an intrinsic desire to give. Okay. So when we can pay attention to ourselves, right, and give to ourselves first, we increase our capacity to give from the heart and not an attempt to get people to like us. So one of the first steps we take is to pay closer attention, right? Um, to make amends to ourselves, right? If you've been disliking yourself and people pleasing, you've most likely done some pretty cringy things that you'd probably rather ignore. I know I have. So part of the process is to bring those things to the surface and let them go, right? And we will do that this month. So the other part will be learning the process of letting others think what they want to think about you. This is really difficult for most of us because we become dependent on other people to try and feel good, right? But the truth is, we can't control what they think, even if we try, right? People are always, they always get to choose what they want to believe about us, right? And what they believe about us is about them, not us. It's about their thoughts and their feelings and their experiences. So when we show up in a way that's authentic, we can see who the people are who like us for us and not for the people pleasing we've been doing. Right. So people pleasing relationships are really difficult to tolerate. Right. So buffering is how we manage. Buffering seems to make everything okay. Right? Buffering is like doing an activity like overeating or over drinking or throwing ourselves into our work or working out, whatever we're doing to avoid feeling those icky feelings. Okay. And buffering away the pain is how you lie to yourself. Okay. You miss yourself, you deny yourself, and you pretend you are different than who you are. Right. Your true desires get lost in your false desires and the pretense that you're putting on, right? The front. And then eventually you can't access yourself anymore. So people pleasing and buffering feed on each other. Okay. Buffering is how you people please yourself, right? You create a false relationship with yourself where your true desires aren't acknowledged. And the pleasure hit is substituting for true joy. Pleasure hit of the overeating or over drinking, right? So when you stop the lie of buffering, your tolerance for people pleasing will decrease dramatically, right? And at first, it seems to feel terrible, but ultimately, it will cause you to change, right? It will help you listen to yourself, hear yourself, be yourself, and ultimately enjoy yourself and the life you create. So, our false desires that cause buffering are threefold, right? Seek pleasure, avoid pain, and do what's easiest. And our true desires that create an authentic experience are honor our long term desires. We talked about that a lot last month, right? Embrace discomfort, right? And let it be hard. Right? It doesn't mean that we like beat ourselves up or wear ourselves out or force success. A lot of type A people call this enjoying life, and it's actually the opposite. So the true power is created by listening and caring for yourself and using power, not force, to do the hard things that are true desires. Totally having your own back when things seem difficult. We don't get stronger by doing the easy thing. You don't go to the gym and just like walk around and go like this. You get stronger by putting the weights in your arms and working out, right? So, unfortunately, our brains are not programmed to do, wait, are programmed to do the easy thing for survival, right? Our brains are wired for survival. They're wired to survive, not thrive. Right? We buffer and we people please because our brains are literally wired to do this, not because there's anything wrong with us or that we're weak or whatever, right? We have to consciously move out of survival mode and into thriving if we truly want to enjoy the experience of being alive. We need to embrace seeking discomfort in order to make our dreams come true. Okay. So let's see. The only true way to enjoy being yourself is to actually be yourself. Okay. That's about 50-50 for me. The 50-50 of me, I embrace it. I let things be hard. I know challenges are the point to doing things and that nothing has gone wrong, right? That's what makes life amazing. Enjoying the human of who you are. So try that. Pretty amazing. Um, so let's start out with some journal things that you can journal on this month. Okay. Um, let's see. So let's start out with uncovering the story you have about how life is supposed to be. Okay. Everyone has this narrative going on underneath the surface, right? Of a life that should exist and it doesn't. So you have many shoulds about yourself. So let's start with those and let's uncover them, right? So that we can then let them go. So today I want you to think about this. What do you think is wrong with the world? Okay? How should the world be instead? Right? There shouldn't be war. There shouldn't be this, that, the other thing. So, how should life be different? How should the world be different? Okay. So, the next question is how do you know how the world should be? Like, where did you get this idea of how you think the world should be? And then do a model on your thought that the world should be different and notice the feeling it creates. So if you're thinking the world should be different, how do you feel? What feeling does that thought create? Okay, and you could put anything you want in the circumstance line. You could put war, you could put hunger, you could put people who drive too slow in the fast lane, right? The world should be different. What feeling does that create? And it can vary depending on the circumstance, actually. But so it could be of some form of frustration or denial or resistance, right? So that's what I want you to work on today. And then I will pop in here tomorrow with a different perspective and some different questions to ask yourself about that. So, all right, you guys, let's really work on loving the shit out of ourselves this month. Okay. I am all for it. Right. We talked about that last month. Like, you can't hate your way thin. So, if weight loss is your goal, ask yourself why. Is it because you think you're going to be a better, more worthy human at the other side and that you're going to be happier? Because it's not the truth. And then doing this work this month, allowing you to just really, truly embrace who you are and love yourself and like yourself. Delight in the you who is you. And just, it just makes for such a much more wonderful experience of your life, right? We have but one wild and crazy life. Precious, wild and crazy. We can be wild and crazy. We have one wild and precious life, right? Do you want to spend it not liking yourself? And even more so, not loving yourself, right? Some of us love ourselves. Maybe we don't like ourselves so much. I don't know, right? So that is what I have for you today on this lovely June Wednesday. And I will see you tomorrow. All right. Bye bye.